Hello everyone and welcome back to Local Liberty. This is Brian Saucier. I am back here on May 8th, 2016 and I am very excited to discuss probably the most important bill that has been passed in the history of Connecticut. Here's the title from Thursday's Chronicle. Consent bill clears the Senate. Consent bill clears the Senate. And this, of course, is not talking about just any kind of consent. This is affirmative consent. In the definition from the bill, affirmative consent means an active, clear, and voluntary agreement by a person. I had no idea that the likes of Mae Flexer and Greg Haddad and Susan Johnson and other legislators in our area were voluntarists. I had no idea that the idea of a person explicitly agreeing to something means that is their only way of giving their consent. I had no idea that they believe that strongly in that. And I am so thankful that they push this extremely important idea forward because, as I'm going to talk about, this is going to have profound effects on our society. And what I mean by that, of course, is there will be no more tax increases without affirmative consent unless somebody clearly and actively and voluntarily agrees to a tax increase. There will be no more new regulations unless somebody actively, affirmatively consents to it. No more gun laws unless somebody really honestly says, I want that gun law. No more government retirement programs taken out of somebody's paycheck unless somebody says, hey, I think it's a great idea, I want that retirement program. And that's not all that's in this bill. Here's another very interesting quote. Affirmative consent can be revoked at any time. So if you change your mind later and you say, you know what, I agreed to let the government do X, Y, and Z, but I'm not feeling like they're holding up their end of the bargain. Or you've just decided that, I changed my mind, or this was a mistake and I no longer wish to give you this particular power, Mr. and Mrs. Government, then you can revoke your consent at any time. And there's another really important part. This is a quote. The existence of a past or current relationship does not mean that you consent today. So we can move past this whole notion of implied consent of, somebody signed an agreement 200 years ago and everybody's dead, but everything that was happened then now applies to us, and everything that the government did between now and then is perfect. Or, since you're here and you haven't moved to Somalia yet, it means you implicitly agree to everything that the government has been doing to you and will do to you or do in your name. So, this whole notion of implied consent, social contract, it's out the door. We have affirmative consent. It has cleared the Senate, and we can expect Daniel Malloy to sign this into law any day, and then our existence in this as the people in Connecticut, we will then be directly on the path to transforming ourselves into a free society that is based on voluntary agreements between people. So thank you, Mae Flexer. Have a nice day, folks. This has been Brian at Local Liberty. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube.